Oh my goodness, we're streaming. And once again, I forgot to change the stream title. I'm going to have to fix that. Let's go look. How many days did I forget to change the stream title for? Just the day. Okay, today should be number 22. So let's change it now. Can I actually change it in the VOD while we're going? That'd be great. Twitch videos. Can I change the name? I can't change the name. I guess I gotta wait until the broadcast is over to change it. Alright. Hey there, Red Rampage Crumpet. Long time no see. I'm playing around with graphics, physics engine libraries. All these, I can shoot cubes. I noticed some funny motion in these diamond blocks. So, like, if I shoot here and try to get the block to rest, you see how it doesn't rest? It continues to drive through the pile there. Pretty sure that's because I used the wrong function here. Add force, I think, is like adding a permanent push, whereas we want to apply an impulse, I think. And if I'm not mistaken, we want the impulse to be lower magnitude. I might have cheated by trying this before the stream. Playing with Unity? No, this is my own stuff. You know me. So I like to write things from scratch, although this is not completely from scratch. We're using libraries like wgpu, the graphics, rapier for the physics engine. Not something as advanced as Unity, more elemental. Okay, so there, it came to rest. That's what I want to see, that we can shoot these diamond blocks, and they eventually do come to rest, and they don't keep pushing through the pile. Alright. I think I want to make these smaller, too. Forgot to do something there. Okay, fix it. This is the scale, right? 2.5? This makes it even cooler, or does it make it even cuber? Okay, these are a little bit too much force applied to these diamond blocks. How about put that to 0.25? Link the program. Okay. Phew. There's a bit of a lag sometimes when they impact, like right there. I don't know what that's about. Hold on a sec. All right. A little bit of a lag when they hit. I wonder why. See that? Some kind of lag there. Like it kind of sticks to the surface and then it bounces away. What is that? Hey there, Stripe Monkey. Trying to understand what's the deal with this that lag there. I'm using continuous collision detection. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Time loss. be reduced by increasing the number of steps executed, the default being 1. Changing integration parameters. Where would that be set up? Probably in the drawing code, right? Oh no, this would be in the physics engine, so it would be in this app somewhere. Is that a physics engine? This one? What's it? Steps. Max CCD steps. How do I have to, I probably have to make it and then change it. PC. Let's do 5. What's wrong with this? Oh. It's saying that I can do it this way. Forgot about that. So we can do this in there. Like that. Oh, with a colon. And it doesn't have to be mutable anymore. Look at that. So 5 for the CCD steps, default for everything else. See if that gets rid of the motion lag that was happening. All right. Yeah, I think that did it. I need like more mess to start with here. Okay, because I want to kind of shoot into here. Yeah, that looks more realistic. There's no like lag when it strikes. It does have a lot of force. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Kind of feel like it's too heavy. Like it shouldn't hit it that hard. I wonder if we could adjust the mass of the thing so that it's like doesn't hit so hard. Or make it more bouncy. Shoot diamond block. Okay. Additional mass 1. I don't think I need that additional mass actually anymore, right? Because the collider will give it a mass based on its size. Working with forces and impulses, there has to be a way to adjust the mass. Yeah, it's right there. I think it's because I had that additional mass added to everything, which I don't really need. So it made light blocks heavier than they should have been. Oh, that made things a little bit more bouncy. Huh. They're bouncing a little bit more, probably because they're not as heavy. Okay, that looks better. Like when I hit a bigger object, it doesn't like fly away. It just kind of moves. Like right there, it just kind of moves like, oh, oh, hit it. If I hit a small object, then it does fly away. Like that. Cool. Shoot a lot of blocks that can fly away though. Pew pew pew. I'm just looking with make sure that it looks realistic now. No more of that lagging. Okay, there's a little bit of ricochet there that didn't quite look right. Pretty fun, I think. One's bouncing there, goes there. It'd be more interesting if we had other objects that weren't cubes, right? Anyway, let me change all these. I forgot to check in the code yesterday or Friday. Ah, okay. This is all having to do with adding right click to shoot bullets. So shoot, well, they're diamond blocks, right? Diamond blocks with right mouse click. All right. Ho 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 ho. Did I leave any to dos? Nope. Let's go over everything to make sure I didn't forget to do something. Cube, ground, macros that I had, shaders, fragment shader, vertex shader, a texture, the different blocks from that texture, drawing code. I did call it drawing stuff. What if I call it drawing? We don't need the word stuff at the end, right? It's just drawing. So that means that in the app here, called drawing near the top, right? Drawing. This kind of belongs in the drawing module, doesn't it? Shouldn't that go with it? So cut that out there and paste it up in here. Of course, I got to import all these things. Means that I should probably move a bunch of stuff from the app down to here, right? Well, so this is just render, right? Actually, that should be imported as as model render. Don't need to import ourselves. App needs to import this from submodule, so that needs to be public. Okay. Just say drawing. Okay. Oh, shoot. Actually, well, that's a good thing, right? We shouldn't be reaching into private things in the drawing code, right? Updating cube position over. So it's all the info overlay. Maybe the info overlay it should be public. And what, the camera and the configuration? Why is the camera's public because we're modifying it, right? Models. Hmm. This is the consequence of moving it into the submodule. If I end up making everything public, then maybe it really does go in the parent. Private type in public interface. That's because this camera, where is it? Probably doesn't go here. Well, same. Okay. There. Public. Yeah, this is turning into a mess, isn't it? Find multiple times. What? How could we define multiple times? Oh, on the import? Yeah. Circular. Circular import. Yep, if we're initializing it. That should be with the new instead of doing all this stuff, right? But I ended up really ripping a hole into the pub hole. So I don't think it actually should be moved here. So revert time. Okay. We have the, oh, well, we can at least remove the stuff again. That's fine. Ba 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 da ba da. Everything's a lot more bouncy now that I removed that extra mass. Okay, enough playing around. It commit that. So this was a rename drawing stuff to drawing. Okay, still scanning to see if there's anything else I should kind of move around. There's Zenova. How are you doing? I'm wondering if that should go into a new of some kind. Hmm. Maybe, because that would help out the new function here. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to grab this much of it. And we're going to say new. I think depth texture view went in there, so we'll probably have an error, but that's okay. What happened here? Oh, too many colons. Oh, there are a bunch of stuff that we need to pass in. Okay, never mind. Abort. Never mind. Because we're constructing a lot of the stuff up here. Yeah, so to move it into a new would mean a lot of arguments. So the fact that I had to have a this means that I had to construct an initial state in order to do these things, right? Which makes sense, I guess. Two of them are on drawing. Creating the ground and making the first cube. Yeah, those are like actions that we take after creating the app, right? I wonder if they should go outside of here. Find column hierarchy. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's fine. So we do a bit of post construction. Okay. I mean, this is all good stuff. Position, click to world, position. This isn't clip to world, it's screen to world. We do a screen to clip conversion here. There, now it's correct. So that's screen to clip right there. And then putting it into vector 4, multiplying by clip to world does so screen to clip, clip to world by multiplying by that matrix, right? This calculation, there's got to be a nicer way to do that. Like, I should be able to say like world dot like from homogeneous. Is that right? But there is no what if I wonder if it's on vector. From an algebra vector. From homogeneous? Oh, there is a from homogeneous. Remove the zero at the end of self. I'm not just removing the zero. I need to do it for a vector that has a w coordinate in there. This isn't going to do the right thing, right? It's just removes the zero at the end of the vector. Not what we want. We want it to divide by w, so that's the question. Is there a function in vector or matrix that does the divide by the homogeneous coordinate? So this is the other direction, setting the diagonal element to 1. But how do we go the other way where we divide by that? Or median part? What? Symmetric part? What if I look for the word divide? Unscale. The only place where the word divide shows up is unscale. Let's search the web. So now algebra divide by W. Ooh, I guess no one's run into this. Vector from I would do just an algebra homogeneous vector. Points and transformations? Looks like a good bet. Okay, I don't want points and transformations. I want vectors and transformations. Homogeneous coordinates of a point usually end with a 1, while those of a vector end with 0. Okay, so this is correct. It's a point. From coordinates from homogeneous. Oh, this is it. It's from homogeneous for a vector. But that's what we were looking at, right? And that was different. Is the type different? What's the type here? Oh, it's a point. That's the difference. I want a point, not a vector. Okay, I know what to do then. I'm using the vector type, but really I should be using the point type. Right? So if I do point from homogeneous, I've been using the type pretty loosely, right? Yeah, so this is doing a divide by. How does that work actually? Is it because it's inside of a macro? No, it's not inside of macro. So it's optional because you might have 0 there, which makes sense. We'll end up unwrapping it. So what's this generic view thing? Huh. What kind of magic is this? Oh, they're just taking the whole thing and dividing it by a scalar. I should have done that too, right? I could have done that here by just saying this is just a world divided by world.w. I guess you do it this way, right? Could have done it that way. Not new is not the right one though. What did they use? Generic view? Generic view. Okay, how did they use that? With a tuple of 0, 0? And another tuple that's name and okay, I don't know how to do their magic, so I'm not going to bother. But yeah, if we returned a point, this would be correct, right? Expected matrix 3 by 1 found an optional Okay, so this should be like oh, I needed a point 3 here. And this needs to be unwrapped. Okay. That will lead me to change a bunch of other things, which is correct. Those aren't point vectors, they're points. Let's fix those other places. So position here should be a point, not a vector. Raycast wants a vector for a direction. Right, so we want a direction. How do we get a direction from 2 points? O point. Yeah, it's. Do I just do vector new here? You can't do a vector from a point? Okay, how do we get a vector from a point? That's how we get a point from a vector. So is it the similar thing like from vector? Or 2? We don't want to homogeneous, do we? From point? From a lot of things, right? Element, from function, from homogeneous something, from iterator, slice, from vec, from tuple. I don't know. Go back to the manual. So maybe under here it will say how to get one from a point. Matrix construction. Rows from columns, from diagonal. From element. Given element. Same as repeat. Oh, so it's like from element 0 would be all zeros. From iterator, from row slice. Identity, from diagonal element. There's got to be a way to do this. Algebra. Vector from point. From points. That's the thing we're just looking at, right? Difference of 2 points returns a vector. So that's what I did. How come I didn't get a vector? Right? Oh, because world is not a... No, world is a point. Camera's not a point? A camera's a vector, that's right. So this needs to return me a point in 3D space. All right, so this should be point 4. Or really it should be 0.3 homogeneous. And then and then we can use the from homogeneous, right? Or is it point? Is it vector from homogeneous? No, point. There we go. Unwrap. Cool. I did it. I did it, chat. Okay, so that's point. Okay, so this needs to take a point. Which means this has to take up. Yeah, so the change is going is like spreading out here. We could remove the additional mass. So translation. Translation takes a vector, so there would be a vector from a position. Can we do into? Wait, found a constant 4. That's 3. Oh, that's homogeneous, right? No, it's a 3D vector. Why can't I go from a 3D point to a 3D vector? What's the what's the error here? It wants to add one. 3D point to implement into 3D. I don't get it. And this cat is very distracting. Meowing and rubbing against my leg. What? Just say hi. Hi to chat. No, you don't want me to hold you, huh? She's like, I don't want you to hold me. I want you to play with me. Oh, she wants to look out the window. Am I planning on developing anything to run in browsers? Not necessarily, but it would be nice to be able to run it in the browser. And I'm sorry if you asked that like a billion years ago and I just happened to see the question now. Dim name add 1 output plus 3 expected 3 found 4. It's like it wants to add a dimension to it. Expected 3 found 4. We'll revisit that one. Yes, these should all be points, not vectors. See, while developing this, I kind of use the two concepts interchangeably, but algebra has a very clear distinction when it comes to homogeneous coordinates, right? The point. Point. Okay, 7 errors, so that's one of them. Or the other ones. W init. Aha. Point. Look, there's a kitty. There's a kitty up there. There's a kitty. Hi, kitty. Point instead of vector. Do I even need a 2 there? Can I just say point new? No. It sort of wants me to say 2 there. Okay, 4 errors. Full tick. Same problem, right? That's a vector and should be a point. 2 errors. Okay, so it's down to the errors about position, right? There's one in full tick still. Yeah, okay. What's the error there? Import. One error. Okay. So we're down to this one. How do I get a translation vector from a point? This one's a 3D vector from a 3D point, and it's not interchangeable. Hey there, Brooke Zerker. You've been raiding me a lot lately. I need to, like, be able to raid you back, don't I? Hope you had a great stream. You're working on Axiom and Rust, right? It's either a talk or a presentation. Yeah, how's that going? I'm trying to fix a type issue here where I have a point and that this thing needs a vector, and into isn't working because of some strange kind of thing here. Expected the vector found a point, right? So I get this weird error that it wants to add a dimension to it. Making an X. Oh, you're making a course, so that's even better. It's better than a presentation or a talk, right? The cubes, pretty good. I have, since it doesn't build right now, I have to actually run it the last build manually. I should make like a macro for this or something. There we go. So I can now shoot things at them. Pew, 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 pew. So we added the CCD, the continuous collision detection. Or I should say I enabled continuous collision detection on the engine so these things don't like shoot through the ground, so that the collision of fast moving objects is calculated correctly. So we learned how to do that with the physics engine, and now I'm trying to fix a problem that I had been putting in from day one, which is I'm using vector in a lot of places where I should be using point. And there's a difference between a point and a vector, and it's best summed up here that a vector is the difference between 2 points. So a vector is implies going from one point to another, and I was using vector 2 for coordinates, but really I should be using point. And where you get a lot of the differences are in functions like going to and from homogeneous coordinates. You either add a 0 or a 1, and you either drop the coordinate or you divide by the coordinate. Hey there, 715209. I have something new every time. That's great. That's my objective. Although I'm running out of things to learn in these libraries, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, other than maybe just sit around and have fun with the simulation here. Never get tired of that. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how do I turn a point into a vector without doing a subtraction? And I thought that I could just construct one. These are the ways we construct it, right? And none of these seem to fit. Unless I do a from row or something. Like, what's the row of a vector? Can I say, like, vector from rows? Yeah, but it wants to have a matrix. I have a point. There's no from point, right? From partial diagonal. There's from a lot of things. From data, from diagonal, from element. Slice. It's got to be one of these. Like they really don't want me to construct a vector from a point. I was shooting diamond 75209. Okay, you can construct a point from a vector. They say from coordinates, so maybe that's the thing. Maybe I need to have a 2 coordinates. So what if I have like position 2 coordinates? So homogeneous maybe. Is that what I want? To homogeneous. I hate saying this, but can I do from homogeneous? Just drop that extra coordinate. What does it actually do? Converts this point to a vector in homogeneous coordinates by appending a 1 at the end. But then I only want the first 3 of them, right? I'm kind of tempted to just kind of browse this file. Wait. Deprecated use point from vector instead? Huh. That means does that imply that there's a vector from point? Hold on. Maybe that is the vector from position. No. Come on, guys. It wants to turn it into homogeneous coordinates for some reason. Can I like downgrade it afterwards? Can I say like drop the last coordinate? What if I do select columns 3? Or is it rows? Nope, neither one. Oh, it wants what is this? Into iterator. What is this? It wants a range of some kind? Man, this type algebra is complicated, no pun intended. I don't know what I'm doing. I want the inverse of this. Vector from point. Just takes me back to the same thing. I guess I could just add 0, 0, 0 to it. That seems cheesy to me. It would be like position minus vector 0, right? Or point zeros? 0.3 zeros? Hold on. I thought that type would be a translation. Let's see what it is. Oh, there's no zeros. Default, I guess. Okay, I think that's ugly. Default is okay, I can say origin. Do we have to say position minus origin though? That seems so funky. Note. Use a better point to vector method if discovered. All right, I left myself a note. And some more warnings. It's all part of the learning process, right? I'm learning the linear algebra library while I'm going here, because the physics engine uses it, and I'm using it for other things like drawing. And a lot of this had to do with just getting the correct types. So I was using vector everywhere where I should have been using point in a lot of places. Now a point is a point, and we don't use vector for points anymore, hopefully. Point 3 from. Now that worked because, actually, why did I need a from? I don't need a from there, right? Yeah, there we go. And I don't even need to cast that, do I? It already is a point. I could just move this cast. There, it already is a, whoop, it already is a point. Okay. So the world is turn a screen position to world. I'm going to call that target. The target's the world position instead of the screen position. Call it target screen, target world. Kind of want to call that camera world. This is the direction in the world, array in the world. It's weird that they form array from a point and a vector. I guess that makes sense, actually. It's a point and a vector. Yeah, all right. Have a great time at your day job. I'll be heading out to my day job in about an hour and a half. Actually, work meeting that starts at 9:30, so it'd be more like an hour from now. Okay. I don't need to make a name for that. I can just plug that in there, right? I think it actually looks better the other way. But we can make it even better by giving this a name. This is screen to clip. No, it's not. It's position clip. This is position screen. This is position clip. And this stuff I could be doing with a matrix to make it look nicer. Do I want to do that? It's could be a scaling matrix, right? Scale by the ratio of the width to 2. And there's also a translation. It's a scaling and a translation. Let me consider. So note. Consider making a screen to clip matrix and type and using it here to convert coordinates, convert the position. So one more question. Can I do this? Here. Can I just say that? Without anything there. Use associated function syntax instead. Yeah, they want me to do it this way. I don't want to use the word world, so how does that look? That doesn't look too bad. I would rather have it like be a postfix rather than prefix though. Can I, instead of doing from, can I say to? Homogeneous. Wait, that worked? But it returns the wrong type. Yeah, that gives me a vector, not a point. I need to be explicit about the type, I guess. Okay, never mind. Kitty, want more attention? Ah, look, I got a kitty who wants to play. You want to play? Hmm? Screaming right now. I can't play with you. Okay, let's make constants for these. This is what? Diamond block scale. Let's put it at the top, where all my other constants are. Okay, I guess I got the units wrong. It's F32. Okay, and then this is like diamond block shoot force. How about impulse scale? Better, right? Learned today there are two heaps in Rust. You never saw you type tilde or at. Which do you use? Default? What do you mean? Never saw me type tilde or at. Which do you use? Default. What does that mean? All right. You know which heap system I use? How would I look? I never told this what heap I wanted. I guess I'm using whatever the default is. Rust heap. System? It doesn't even know I'm talking about programming. Select heap. Hey there, Clayman. I was watching your stream before. I was lurking your stream, watching you play with physics. Let me show you the physics that I got going here. I'm using the rapier library for physics. It looks pretty good. I could shoot little diamond blocks at these grass, gold ore, and cobblestone and sand blocks that I completely did not steal from Minecraft. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty realistic. You shoot something in there, kind of, I can get it to get trapped in there. Look at that. And let's free the blocks. Shoot many blocks, make them free. That's what it looks like when a true professional does physics, but I didn't do the physics. I just totally, completely stole it from the open source community. It's a fast 2D and 3D physics engine for the Rust programming language. Yay. The graphics are in wgpu and the GUI is in egui. This is what happens when you add 1,000 cubes in the same points in space. They explode. And there's a moment there where the solver is like really working hard and the frame rate really drops. Yeah, so this is running on a virtual machine, so my FPS drops from 60 if I have like 5,000 cubes. I'm actually surprised it's taking so long for those cubes to all die out. Huh. Still dropping. Some of them must be falling really slowly. It's when they get to negative 100 on the y-axis do they die out. Wow, some of them must have been like really floating slowly. Don't envy people, the people who figure out how to optimize that? Yeah, I know. Why is it taking so long for these to die off? Huh. The solver, okay. No, there's still some that are dying off. Wow, it's really slow. It's not like we're lagging or anything. It's just that we have some really slow falling cubes. Wouldn't they accelerate though as they're going down? Why are some of them taking so long to fall? If I shoot one off into the ether, it doesn't take that long for it to fall. You can see the y coordinate up there, right? What if I shoot it up? 300, 400, 500. How high is it going to get? Maybe that's the problem. Some of them went really, really, really high and it took them a long time. See, look, it's still going up. It's still going up. It hasn't leveled out yet. Now it's leveled out. And now it's starting to head back. That must be it. Some of them went really, really high and it took them a long time to plateau. And then they started falling down. That must have been it, right? The ones that shot up way high in the sky took a long time to finally pass the 0 coordinate and go down to negative 100 and fall. Anyway, yeah, we're just playing around with libraries. I'm not trying to build anything. I'm not trying to make a spectacular physics game like Clayman Dev. I'm just playing around with libraries. And just kind of cleaning up the code. So, like, this is how much we scale the blocks shot by right-clicking. You notice I'm trying to avoid using the words diamond and block scale. I'll use scale there. Can't think of a better word. I don't like repeating the words of the constant in the comment describing what it is. I like to use different words. This is the factor we multiply the, what are we going to call it? By the aiming direction to compute the impulse we apply to the block shot by right clicking. Exactly. There we go. This is how we shoot blocks, by the way. We get the camera position. We get the target position is the position we clicked on the screen converted to world coordinates. We get the direction by subtracting them. Then we make a new cube at, I think I just picked the camera position, right? Yeah, we pick the camera position with no spin on it, with no rotation at all. The model is the block. So if I used a different block like the sand block or sand, then when we shoot, it would actually be up. I have to actually build it. It wouldn't be diamond blocks anymore. It would be sand blocks. Trying to make a full physics game is a good way to lose your sanity if you're into that, though. I know I watch your coding, and I wouldn't say it would make you go insane. I think you'd learn a lot, right? Maybe you get frustrated. I don't know. Does it really test your sanity, though? Now we're shooting sand blocks. All I needed to do was change that one line from diamond block to sand. Yeah, we always select the cube that we're firing, and this is how we actually do the firing, right? We get the physics body back out. This new cube actually created it internally. It said new cube body, which was translation, rotation, all that good stuff, and insert a body with those initial translation, rotation, and all that stuff. Oh, I'm CCD enabling for everything now. I probably should only do that for the projectiles I fire, right? So this should be conditional. This should be, I should pass this in as a Boolean. Or maybe what I do is I move this out and I enable post creation. That's probably a better thing to do, right? So like instead of enabling it there, since I'm getting the body back out here, I should just enable it, right? Body dot enable CCD. True. Right? That's probably better. Anyway, back to here again. I wanted to show, since all you guys watching Clayman were into physics, this is how I've been learning that the rapier engine works. So you first create a rigid body with its physical properties, and then you have to add it to the body set. So you hold on to a rigid body set, right? You have to add the body to that rigid body set, and then you make your collider shape. So it doesn't actually have to match what you draw, but usually if you want to be sane, you make it match. So since this is for a cube, I take a cuboid collider, and I give it the same scale that I'm going to draw it at. And then I also stash the model instance handle, the drawing handle, as user data to the collider, so that given a collider, I can recover like which graphics, like display model I wanted to draw it with. And then this is how you add the collider to the collider set. You insert with parent, so this kind of links the collider with the rigid body. So that you can have a rigid body with no collider, and you can have a collider with no rigid body, I think. But usually you want both. Except for the ground in my simulation is a collider with no rigid body. Yeah. The APIs look a bit different. Fundamentals seem similar. Okay, yeah. I think the concepts are probably, it's all based on the same concepts. You know, a collision solver and all that stuff. using colliders and yeah. Yeah, so we have to hold these. These are the two primary ones we're interacting with, the rigid body set and the collider set. And then there's a bunch of other things the physics engine can do that we don't really use. So there's like, don't really know this other than I can guess that it's a joint is where you're joining two things together, like with the spring or like a fixed position. So I'm guessing that these two cover the combination, all those combinations of things joined by spring or by point or whatever. And then integration parameters, we mucked with that because this is how we set the number of time steps, right? For the continuous collision detection, which is very important when you're shooting bullets. If you don't turn on continuous collision detection, your bullets pass through things without impacting them, because they simply jump from one side to the other, right? You actually have to simulate sub-steps between normal steps in order to detect a collision. And then, yeah, the island, broad phase, narrow phase, these are all like internals that we're not mucking with. We're just physics world is a home for them. And we're not really interacting with them directly, though. Yeah, after we get that cube body, then I make the graphics instance and put that in our instance set. And then I have to count the instance with the model, because the model holds on to the per instance vertex buffer. And then we do that just so we can account how many objects in the UI. So yeah, it's all good. That's how we shoot blocks. We create them, and then here we get the body back out to enable continuous collision detection. Just for fun, I'll show you what happens if we don't do that, and then we fire it by applying an impulse to it. So if we don't enable continuous collision detection, our bullets will actually pass through the ground without colliding with them. Sometimes. There, you see that happen? So there it hit, there it hit, there it didn't. See, there it's not hitting the ground, right? Aim a little bit differently and it'll hit the ground. Just depends on see, there I'm very unlucky. Oh, there it bounced once. But see, I'm not able to hit that cube because it's actually simulating in one step. It goes from one side of the obstacle to the other, right? So enabling continuous collision detection simulates more sub-steps between steps, and it'll then detect more collisions. The projectiles had a problem like this too, solved it by doing a raycast every frame. So yeah, what I've seen these physics engines is they solve it by doing more simulation steps. At the cost of performance, you have more chances of actually hitting. So I'm enabling 5 sub-steps. What we were seeing is if I enabled fewer, like one sub-step, it would work, but it was a little janky on these collisions. It would like appear to momentarily stick to what it collided with. I can show that actually, right? I set that up at the very top level when I set up the physics engine. Where's my new? Here it is. Yeah, this right here. I should probably make a constant for that. So if the default's 1, right, for one sub-step, and it worked, but it was a little janky. Right, so like, let's wait for these to settle. So sometimes, like when it hits, it would like appear to stick momentarily. Not seeing that right now. Okay, well it's not happening now. It was happening before though. I did have another bug though, didn't I? So maybe the CCD steps masked another bug. Oh, there. I saw a little bit of stickiness. There, it happened again. It's like it just kind of momentarily sticks to the ground or to another cube and then launches away from it. Like it doesn't look real. It almost looks like the object paused. Yeah, do you see that? It kind of, when it stuck to that cobblestone block momentarily before it bounced. Yeah, do you see that? It just doesn't look right. Yeah, it happened again there. I think it's when a lot of things are crowded together in a small area. Adding more substeps, though, it looks more realistic. Yeah, it's definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting under the hood. And you're used to Unity? I thought your engine was completely custom made. Just trying to make a little bit of a crowded area for these things to collide in. See, yeah. Okay, that was weird. There's a lot of impulses going through there. Weird how you hit here and like it ricochets, it causes a domino effect of forces. Yeah, I'm not seeing that stickiness anymore. I'm pretty sure that increasing the substeps does that. It solves that, I should say. I just need to add like cool collision sounds now, and I'd have an actual thing you could play. Literally a sandbox, though. We don't do anything here. I start to think of ideas like, what if each of these was like, if the bullet stays around too long, it kind of explodes. We could have the physics engine simulate an explosion just by rapidly increasing the scale of the object, and then watching everything around it kind of push away. That might be a fun thing to try. Explode all diamonds. Why don't we do that? Why not? Let me check this stuff in. So this was like fixing vectors that needed to be points, right? Fix vectors that should be points. All right, let's make a new button. Where are my buttons? My buttons are in the info overlay. So here's how we do the UI. Here's how we do buttons, right? We add a new button. Where do I want to add the button, by the way? Do I want to add it like on this row? Or maybe we add it here. I think we'll add it here on the row that says the number of cubes. That's this row, right? So add a new button. Detonate. Okay, and this will be detonate diamonds. So for that to work, we need to actually have a new UI message called detonate diamonds. That's going to force me to implement handle message for it. This is why Rust is cool, in my opinion. When you add something to an enum, it forces it, with an error, it forces you to handle it where you should be handling it, right? So then we're going to want to have a method called detonate diamonds, right? And we can put that anywhere. How about we put it near kick cube? Function detonate diamonds. It's raining again. Why is it raining in September? Okay. Yeah, we're going to want to go through all of the diamonds that we have, right? So we can iterate the model instances we have and just pick out the ones that are diamonds. And then for each one, get the physics body and just like suddenly increase its scale. Oh, and we want to do that on the model also, right? And to do this properly, we're going to probably want to do this in multiple steps. Like increase the scale rapidly over a few simulation steps and then just like destroy them, right? So that means I'll probably want to have like a detonation sequence in self. So that would be inner detonation step. It's not always a value. Sometimes it'll be none. Otherwise, what to put here? Probably just like to do a float. It'd be 0 to 1, and when it gets to 1, we're done. And then I can just make a constant govern how many steps. Or it could be a sequence number, and then we get to a certain. I think we'll just keep it simple. Make it a sequence number, and then I'll want to have like a constant diamond detonation steps. Let's make it 10 steps. We'll be tweaking these numbers later, right? And this is like diamond detonation scale increase per step, I guess. And I think this is in units of F32s, but I'm not completely sure. And our initial scale is 0.25, so let's have it go like, we're doing 10 steps, and we want it to go, say, to like up to 2 and then vanish. Then per step, what would that be? Roughly like, we want to go 2 total, so it'd be 0.2. I think it's about right. So I'm not completely sure if we'll keep these constants the way they are. So to do will be document once feature complete. That's a fancy word for saying that we got it working. All right, so then self needs to initialize diamond detonation step, which so that will be none. Then detonate really will, all that will do is just set that step, right? Diamond detonation step equals sum 0. Because we actually want the detonation to happen like while we're simulating. So that happens in, where? Where does that happen? Where do I step the simulation? Okay, if I go to physics world and I just show all, whoop, not that physics world, this physics world. If I go and just show all references. Oh, that's not what I want. This one, right? Show all references to that. There we go. Okay, it's a lot of places. Start drag, new, just where do we do physics stepping? Oh, is it there? I think it's here. Ah, found it. Right, because I need to refactor this because it's hidden inside the redraw factory right now. So the idea would be to do it like right before we step the simulation, right? So if let some step equals app dot detonation step, right? Step plus equal 1. If step is less than diamond detonation steps, then we store it back, right? And already I know that I want to move this out. to there, and this would be none. Semicolon. Okay, and now I'm going to reverse that because I actually want to do a few extra things. There and there, semicolon, no semicolon there. So if we get to the end, we want to destroy all diamond blocks, right? So but okay, now I'm thinking ahead that no matter what, we want to do something to all the diamond blocks. We either want to delete them all or we want to rescale them, right? Now do a similar thing when we handle destroying all blocks that, yeah, destroy lost models, right? Yeah, so we found all the colliders that were below the loss threshold and we collected them all. And then we iterated through them. And as part of that, we got the rigid body and the collider. And we use that to remove the collider. Okay, so I want to do a similar thing, right? If we're exploding diamond blocks. Yeah, so I want to paste that all here. This is going to look gross. Which means I should probably move this out to another function. So why don't I do that now? So app.simulate. Diamond detonation. Move that all out. And that's inner. Put that right here because it belongs with the other one, right? Case before I lose my clipboard. Okay, so this was simulate diamond detonation self. Okay, app is self. All right. This is called from here. Nice. Okay. So then we get all the colliders. So here our filter's different, right? Our filter should be that the model is a diamond block. So how do I get the model handle? Oh, we have the model handle here. So I would get the model instance, right? So first we get the model handle. Then we get the model instance. If let some model instance equal that, and it's not remove, it's get. Because then it's not a model instance anymore. It is a model instance. From the model handle, we get a model instance, and then we would say model type, right? Model type. If model type is model type diamond block. Return essentially this right here. Hey, hey, Ramy. Yeah, Clayman is in here. Clayman raided me. Clayman was working on his game with Physics Engine, and I was showing him what kind of physics we're doing here, which is We're exploding diamond blocks right now. Body is the collider parent. Okay, now if we get down to here, it's none. That's essentially my filter map, right? If we find a diamond block, otherwise we don't collect it. Okay, and so then we have all of the diamond block colliders, bodies, model handles, and here's where I want to say, like, we take the detonation step, right? Yes. If let, well, it's repeating this, right? Step, not repeating it. It's this, right? If there is no more, if we're at the end of the sequence, then we're deleting them all, right? We're doing that, which means I should probably, this is super complicated and we do this in 2 places, so I should probably make a sub function for that. Do I want to do that now? I think I do. So we're going to refactor this, extract into function. The function is going to be named destroy object. So we have, it might have a rigid body handle, it has a collider handle, and it has a model handle. Okay, so then this, we don't need to put the prefix in front. We just do an import. And I don't like pulling things from the prelude. I like it coming from the right place. So that's probably pipeline? No, geometry. Except for point doesn't come from geometry. What does it say it comes from? Prelude? Yeah, but it doesn't really come from prelude. Let me click it to see where it actually is. I might, okay, I don't know. We'll leave it there for a second. Actually, I'm going to leave it to do. Import this directly from its origin, not prelude. Okay. So that's fine. We destroy it. And let me find the other place where we do this. Copy, search, paste, enter. Okay, here's where we do it, right? No. That's reset world. Here it is. So it's self.destroy object. All that stuff, right? Because it's the same. Cool. Now I can do final references. I can find where we called it from to simulate diamond detonation. Okay. So if we're still stepping, then what I want to do is instead of destroying it, I actually want to just change its scale. So a little bit different, right? Kind of like deleting it, but instead of deleting it, not deleting it. So if let some model instance equal, and then we're going to do a get mute. And then remove the isSum. Okay, so if we get a model instance, then we want to set its scale. Scale. Oh, we have scaled, but we don't have set scale. Let's pretend we did have a set scale. Have a diamond block scale, right? Plus diamond block scale increase per step times step. F32, so this should be like F32 from. Can't do an F32 from a youth size. Okay, so it's just gonna be step as F32 then. Okay, we don't have a set scale on model instance though. So that is back in model instance. Right, so it's like scaled, only it doesn't return self. It borrows mutably. Self.scale equals scale. Goodbye. So this should probably be set scale, right? So I'm not redundant, so it's not repetitive. All right, and then back here, I have a units problem, right? So it's this whole thing. The physics engine wants it as a F32. The graphics needs it as 64. So let's compute it once. Scale equals that. And then this will just be scale. Nope, sorry. Okay, we're gonna have to suppress this warning. And there's another warning. Lossless. Ah. I wish it would just let me select it. Hold on. I have to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Did I scare you by saying sorry about that really fast? Hey there, Dr. Padawan. How long have you been here? How long has it been since I looked at chat? It's been an age. I didn't even show the chair. Didn't I hide the camera like that? Should I have left it a chair stream? I got another 15 minutes, I guess. All right. So we set the scale drawing the model, but now instead of removing, I need to change the collider shape, right? So I need to get the collider shape. So if let some collider. Oh, how do we scale the collider? Can we scale the collider? I wonder if we'll be able to. What can we do with the collider? Can I scale it up? I might not be able to do this the way I was hoping, unless I can, like, change its shape. What does shape do? Can I scale it up? I don't think it's gonna let me do that. Might have to look this up, right? I mean, I know it's gonna be, like, if it's a cube, it's gonna be a cuboid. And I can make a new cuboid, right? It'd be nice if I could just tell the collider, hey, scale up. Set density, set friction, set mass, set rotation. I could do set shape. Or I can get the shape and change it, maybe. Right? But I'm not seeing any way to make it bigger. Yeah, the collider is in the physics engine. The model is from the drawing code. So the drawing code's mine, so I can change the scale at will, right? But the shape on the collider, don't know how to change. Might have to replace it. So hold on. Well, let's see if this works except for that. And I don't want to destroy the object. No, I do. I want to destroy the object if we're at the end of the simulation. Let's see what this does. Actually, if it's 10 steps, this will be like in 1/6 of a second. It should, like, they should blow up. So we need to add some diamonds to this. There's some right there, right? Hit detonate. Oof. See that? It worked, but it didn't do anything to the physics engine because I'm not actually changing the collider shape yet. Boom. Can you shoot diamond blocks now? Yes, I can, Ramy. I can shoot diamond blocks. I'm trying to blow up the ones that don't fly off. So, like, detonate. Ooh. But for a proper detonation, they actually have to apply to the physics world. So I need to figure out how to do that. I was hoping that there'd be an easy way just to scale the collider shape, but it didn't look like there was a way to do that. Unless maybe it's an operation on the rigid body? Detonate. What about TNT blocks? Physics apply boom? See, I was thinking that if it was easy to set the shape of the collider, that just increasing the size, the shape, every physics tick would push everything out violently, right? But it doesn't look like there's a convenient way with Rapier to do that. Unless there's something here we can read about. Colliders, creation and insertion. We know how to do that. Collider type, shapes. Here are the different shapes. Convex meshes, triangle meshes, height maps, compound shapes, round shapes, position, friction, restitution, collision solver groups, active collision types. This is one way we could do it, is we can just see where there are active collisions and just impart a huge impulse on them. Do you ever see yourself making a custom statistics extension? I thought about it, but I don't know enough about how to do it yet. Like, how to do the solver stuff. I started reading papers on it, and it was getting really over my head. Okay, so I don't know how to do it. Maybe someone else has asked this question. So, rapier scale collider. There's a scaling factor applied to the collider. That's in Bevy Rapier, though. Scale shape. The raw shape from Rapier. Okay, this is something in the Bevy engine, right? Yeah, exactly. Hey man, just using existing engine is painful enough. Well, maybe someday I'll work on a physics engine. Because, like, fundamentally, if the collider shape is a cuboid, it's got a scaling factor. It's just a number inside there somewhere, right? Shouldn't we be able to change that number? Okay, so the next best thing to changing the scale of the collider is just replace the collider. Can I do that? Can we replace a collider? Collider set. Well, let's just go to collider. And what can I do with the collider? We can get its parent, rigid body it's attached to, active hooks, active events. What's an active event? Collision events. Okay. Not that interesting right now. Friction, restitution, sensor, set rotation, set position, position with respect to parent. Oh, interesting. You can move the collider around the parent. Translation, rotation, position groups, solver groups, material, volume, density, mass, shape. So I keep thinking that we can, like, change the shape. We can set the shape of the collider, right? Maybe. I don't think it has externally a transform matrix. It exposes this API of translation and rotation, right? So it's a part of the collider. Although it's weird that they would call the rotation a part of the collider's position, but anyway. The transform matrix is usually rotation, translation, and scale. So they expose translation and rotation, but not scale. Which I was hoping initially that they would, but they don't. A, B, B, properties. So I think my best bet is if I could change the shape or set a new shape. What can I do on shape? It's a trait. So through the trait, can I change its size? Type. Ball cuboid. Okay. We know it's going to be a cuboid. Unless it's the ground. I have to discount the ground, right? Which I already do. We know it's a diamond block, so actually the easiest thing would be to just replace its shape. Board map. Blah, blah. Okay, let's just replace its shape. So that would be set shape. And what's a shared shape? Wraps the given shape as a shared shape. So we can make one shape and set it on a bunch of different things, right? This thing must implement copy if it has an arc, right? Where would that be shown? Down here. It implements clone, so we could at least clone it. I wonder why it doesn't implement copy. You would think it would be cheap to implement copy. Okay, anyway, let's make a new shape for all the diamond blocks. So that we could do that up here, right? We could say let new shape equals shared shape. Cuboid? Cuboid. Okay. So I forget how we made a new cube. Body. Okay, so it really was literally the scale in all 3 dimensions. Okay, so then I can just take the new scale, which I computed up here somewhere, right? Right here. Okay, so I can move that out to here. New shape uses this scale 3 times. Okay, and then oh, I need to move the warning with it. Okay, so oh, I need that step. Shoot. So these move inside, actually. There. And then I move that out. Okay, then I'm gonna have to repeat myself with this for loop. That. So if we're doing some step, then I wanted to pre-compute the scale and shape and then go through all the colliders and set them. Otherwise, we're doing the same loop, but we're destroying the object. I don't know how to combine these 2 lines together yet. Anyway, so it's just if we have a collider, then set its shape, right? Set shape. New shape clone. Alright, got an error. Can't borrow is mutable, it's behind. Okay. Why? This collider is not mutable. I have to do get mute. There we go. We never needed to use the body, is that right? The rigid body? Yeah, we're not messing with the rigid body. Okay, cool. This lib uses matrices instead of quaternions? I don't know. I actually don't know what it uses internally. See you, Clayman. Hey, let's try it out. Let's see if I can blow up diamonds now. Before we blow up some diamonds, the kitty is bothering me again. So the kitty will be on camera. Hey. If you're gonna meow at me, then you need to go on camera. That's right. Kitty cam. All right, add some targets. Then shoot. Put some in there, and then blow them up. Okay, that sort of worked. That sort of worked. So detonate. Boom. It didn't blow up enough though. It's not dramatic enough. So let's scale them up even more and do it more quickly. So 5 steps. A larger increase per step. Actually, I only want to add like 100 at a time, so they just kind of collect there. And shoot into the pile. Wait for things to settle first. And then, boom. That works pretty well. Alright, I like it. So then there's that one sitting there. Kaboom. I think that worked out pretty well. I'm shooting some in there so that I can explode them. Kaboom! I like it. Now I need to have some audio to accompany that. Actually, what would be cool is if I added audio and then I added like a little like sound for every collision. Maybe scale the sound by how much force is in each collision, and then we could have some fun with that. I wonder how hard that would be. I should try to figure that out though. If I was really gonna make something with audio tied to the physics engine, I'd want to know how to do that. Kaboom! Add ability to detonate. All diamonds. Open AL or something more fancy? It doesn't really matter. I'd have to learn in Rapier how to like basically detect collisions, like get a callback for each collision, right? Was that under advanced collision detection? By the way, cat still there, looking out the window, looking for prey. All right. Contact force events. What's this? Collision receive. Event collector. Oh, here we go. Moved is set if a collision stopped because at least one of the colliders involved in the collision was removed from the physics scene. Sensor if at least one of the colliders involved in the detection collision. So don't really care about the flags. After forces are computed. Actually, what if we just play around with this? I have like a few minutes left. I can do this, right? So where would we do this? Let me not skip around. After forces are computed, contact forces may be generated between the two colliders, such as non-zero contact forces. Generally, the user isn't interested in contact force events unless the force magnitudes exceed some threshold. In order to skip low force events, the engine will compute the sum of the magnitude of all the contacts between the colliders and only trigger a contact force event if that magnitude is larger than the threshold set with some threshold. Defaults to 0. Okay. So in order to handle these events, it's necessary to collect them using a structure implementing the event handler trait. Because rapier can be parallelized, this event handler must implement send plus sync. One such structure provided by rapier is the channel event collector. This event collector contains channels from the crossbeam crate. These channels will be populated with events during each call to the step. So we make a crossbeam channel unbounded. Okay, well, I kind of don't want to pull in something like crossbeam. Maybe we just make our own thing that implements the event handler trait. So where do they put that? Okay, the event, they put it under step. So we must already have this. Maybe set to none or something. Where do I? Oh yeah, that was. I need to put a note there. It's under app redraw factory. We do this right. So I wanted to have a to do here. Refactor out the at least the physics part. If not, the drawing part is as well. Because they really don't belong in redraw factory, right? Muted for the sneeze. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I have a cat attacking me. The cat. Ow. It's got me. Ow. 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 I'm being chewed. Ow. Ow. Being vicious. They're being vicious. Okay, so there it is, right? There's where I would put an event handler. So, I don't know, let's try to put our own event handler here. How would we do it? Let's make, just make one right here. Struct event handler. And we just make one. And we just try to reference it here. Okay, and it's going to tell me that I need to implement a crate, right? Event handler is not satisfied. The bound on, yeah, okay. So impl rapier 3D. What did they say? Pipeline event handler. For event handler. There we go. Handle collision event, handle contact force event. I'm just going to print them out. Info. Collision. With. So it's contact pair, right? Why is it an option? If some contact pair expected a Boolean? What does it want from the... What's expecting a Boolean? Hold on, what? Expected bool? Oh, let. Duh. Why is it giving me a bunch of warnings for this? Probably because these shouldn't really go here. Go here for now. Okay. Okay. What's in a contact pair? Collider 1, collider 2. We get 2 handles. Okay. So I can at least like get the model handles out of it, right? So this user data, if I get the collider, so I have to fetch the colliders too, because they're handles. So I have to go to the collider set, right? So let's say contact 1, contact 2 is contact pair dot map collider pair. Into collide. Well, it's 2 of them. I gotta do that, and then I gotta do this, and then I do colliders get actually they're independent, right? So that's not the right it would be map and then, right? I always get map and then confused. So how much time do I got left? I really don't have a whole lot of time left. This might have to be a tomorrow thing. I want my cheat sheet. So I need to return an option if I do a map, and then also returns an option. How do I not return an option? How do I take an option and it always turns into something? That would be unwrap, right? But I want to do it with a function. It's not an or else function. Well, it's not any of these really. Okay, so there isn't really anything. So then I could just do a I guess it would be an and then? No, it's not an and then. It's a map. It's definitely a map. So I'd have to have inner sums. Right? So this is, so yeah. Do I still have it on my clipboard? No. User, this one. I want the 2 handles. So this is like model 1 handle. Model handle 1, 2. Collider 1, collider 2. Model handle 1, model handle 2. Oh, it's contact. Should be collider. Okay. We don't use bodies or event. And I'm not really going to do anything with the force event. Or should I do the same thing, but instead of saying collision, I'll say force event. Why not? So force event. That was that. Okay, so there is no sum here, right? If let there's no map here, then it's just this contact pair. Oh wait, is the contact? Yeah, it's okay. That's what it is. So DT. I don't know if I need these. Let's just print these out. I'll keep it simple. I'll just fire my diamond block at the initial block, grass block. And we got nothing printed. Nothing. We got nothing being printed. Nothing at all. So it didn't even work. Kind of disappointed there. Did I miss something in setting this up? I probably missed something, right? No, it should be, I should have just gotten those events, right? They do this thing with the channel, but like, I'm just doing it in line. Oh, they're only generated if at least one of them has the collision events flag. Okay, that's what it is. Good thing I read the warning, huh? Active events. By default, collision detection is completely disabled between two colliders when both are attached to non-dynamic bodies. Sometimes useful to enable collision detection between them. So when I build it, I have to say the active collision type. Or is it that it's an active event? Ah, here we go. By default, no collision event is generated by the narrow phase. Okay. So we have to do active events. Okay, and that's when we create things, right? So, and I can actually just do that on the bullet, right? I don't have to do it on everything. So let's put it on, where is it? Shoot diamond block? Right here. Yeah, just do that. Can I set it? Set active events? Do I have to do it when I create it? It can be set after by doing set active events. Okay. Oh, it's not on the body, it's on the collider. So hold on. Oh, and the collider is made in turn. Where's the collider made? Oh, it's made inside of new cube. Okay, fine. We'll just add it to there. So, clean this up later. Really, I'll only need it for the diamond block, but we'll have it on all new cubes. We'll do it then. That's somewhere here. New cube body. Here, right? So right there. When we create the collider, we turn on collision events. Does that mean we'll see it collide with the ground? That initial block? Yep. We saw it there. Collision 0 with 2. Why is it 0? Oh, because I never set a user data on it. So 0 is the ground then. 2. Why is it 2? Shouldn't it be 1? Might be the way I initialize things. Okay, anyway. Fire. There we go. 2 with 3, 0. So that's the grass with the diamond, the ground with the diamond, the grass with the diamond again, the ground with the diamond again, and the ground with the grass again. And it's going to get really crazy when I do this. There's like tons of collisions now. And when I fire, bunch of collisions. All right. Okay, so we have collision events. I forgot what I was going to do with those collision events. Oh, I was going to make them play sounds, right? Depending on the force. So I don't have enough time to do that now. I got to go, but maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll add some sound to this. Yeah, unfortunately, I got this thing called work that I have to go do now. But you guys can continue watching Twitch, right? Just be watching a different channel. I'll pass you over to the Primogen. So I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. Please enjoy the Primogen stream, alright? Bye!